I'm Scott Nargar and welcome to NRMA's Driver Cinema. Today we're here in South Korea at Hyundai's R&D Centre to see if the new Hyundai Santa Fe will be the next car to earn a 5-star ANCAP rating by the Australasian New Car Assessment Program. Today we're completing the final test. This test simulates a car running into a fixed object like a power pole or a tree. This final test will determine whether the Hyundai Santa Fe is eligible for a 5-star ANCAP rating.
So what is ANCAP? Well, its full name is the Australasian New Car Assessment Program. This program is funded by the Australian and New Zealand automobile clubs, Australian state governments, the New Zealand government, NRMA Insurance, and the FIA Foundation. It gives consumers consistent and independent information in the form of comparative ratings on a level of occupant protection provided by a new vehicle in serious frontal and side crashes. This information is then provided as a star rating out of 5 and published at regular intervals during the year. ANCAP uses 4 internationally recognised crash tests that are undertaken by independent specialist crash laboratories. In all, test dummies and components are used to facilitate the scientific measurements of various forces in a crash test. The data gathered is then assessed using internationally recognised protocols, and scores are determined for various parts of the test. The scores are then translated into a star rating between 0 and 5. Each vehicle tested by ANCAP is subject to an offset crash test into a barrier, a side impact test, and a pole test. To earn the 5 stars by ANCAP, a pole test, like we're witnessing today, is available if the vehicle has performed well in the previous 2 tests and if it's fitted with head-protecting side airbags. To get to the stage where we're preparing to run this car into a pole, it would have already completed and performed well in 2 previous tests. The first test is the offset frontal crash test that simulates a car colliding with another vehicle. The frontal impact test is carried out at 64 km an hour and has 40% of the driver's side of the vehicle colliding with a deformable barrier. The vehicle is occupied with 2 adult dummies in the front seats and an 18-month-old and 3-month-old dummy in the rear seats. While the test speed is slightly higher than common urban speeds, it represents around 50% of serious crashes on Australian roads. The second test is a side impact test that consists of running a 950 kg trolley into the driver's side of a vehicle at 50 km an hour. The front of the trolley is fitted with a crushable aluminium face that simulates the front of another vehicle. The side impact test has an adult dummy in the driver's seat, an 18-month-old and a 3-year-old child dummies in the rear seats. The final test, and the one we're preparing to witness today, is a side impact pole test. In this test, the vehicle is propelled down a runway at 29 km an hour into a pole that's lined up with the dummy's head. The pole is comparatively narrow, so there's significant penetration into the cabin. The use of side and head protecting airbags, such as curtain airbags, are essential to help make this kind of crash survivable. These types of devices are also effective in other types of side impact crashes, such as being hit by a high vehicle where a bonnet or a bull bar enters the window at head height. As you can see from these kind of tests, it's important that companies like NRMA, state governments and other motoring clubs in Australia continue to contribute to these programs. If you'd like more information on ANCAP crash tests, visit the My NRMA website at www.mynrma.com.au.